tried using affirmations like I am confident, I am worthy, I am abundant, only to stay stuck in where you're at or make little to no progress, I want you to know you're not alone and you are not broken, but you're missing a part on why affirmations on their own do not work. I fell into this trap myself, and that's why I know from experience why affirmations on their own don't work. And today I'm sharing with you the missing link. Here's what led to today's video. I received an email from a gentleman saying, I've been using affirmations for a year, trying to stay positive, trying to create change in my life, but I'm not making progress. In that statement that he used, I'm trying. Trying is what's creating resistance. And here's why affirmations on their own don't work. They're using only 5% of your mind, your conscious mind, your conscious desires. You might want more money, better health, a loving relationship, more success, that dream home. But if it's in misalignment, if it's going against your subconscious mind, your emotional body, that's what creates internal resistance, and you're sending out mixed signals. Today, we're gonna stop that trap, and I'm gonna share with you the missing link so that you can start manifesting whatever it is that you want in this life. So let's get started at the top. Affirmations, why don't they work? You're affirming, you're stating this positive message, but here's the disconnect. So as I shared with you, affirmations on their own are only using your conscious mind. So I'm going to draw this beautiful stick figure. So up here is your affirmation, 5% using your conscious mind. For example, I am abundant, which is great. Look, here's why this is good. You're stating clarity. You're stating what you do want. I am abundant. But if 95% of your programming, so the rest of this, 95% is your subconscious mind. Subconscious. If 95% of who you are, and that's why I often talk about your subconscious mind as your operating system. But if 95% of your operating system has beliefs that aren't in alignment with that, what you grew up around, that money's hard to come by, lack, scarcity, there's never enough, you have conditioned yourself into a lack scarcity mindset. So by trying to override 95% of who you are, your identity, your self-image, only using 5% is an uphill battle, and you will never create the sustainable change in your life. For example, have you experienced the 2 steps forward, the 2 steps back game? You might get a little bit of headway. You might make a little bit of improvement. You might manifest $5, but then you fall back no matter what you do into your old ways. This is why you have this internal resistance, incoherence between brain and body. That's the big thing here. So what is the subconscious? What is 95% driving your show? The show, it's your emotional state. And you have created through habit, repetition, and consistency. And much of this is unconscious. That's what I want you to know. Much of this 95% operating system that's running the show isn't even your programming. Why? From birth up until age 7, think about it like this. You are primarily in theta brainwave state, meaning you're very suggestible to information. I like to think about it as like you are a sponge. You take in everything as fact, what you heard from mom and dad and your community and your culture, whatever you learned from birth up until 7, you don't have your analytical, logical mind yet formed, so you take in everybody else's beliefs as fact. Have you ever heard the term generational trauma? The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Why? Programming, your subconscious mind. But the good news is you can rewire. You can use an affirmation, but let's get into the missing link, getting into the subconscious mind so you are creating brain and heart coherence. Now, here's where I want to introduce to you a quote by Carl Jung. And Carl once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And that's what we're getting into here. Until you understand what's going on in 95% of your operating system, your subconscious mind, you can struggle and effort. And as that gentleman said, try as hard as you can to be positive. But anywhere in which there is resistance, anywhere in which you aren't making headway, you aren't making forward progress, it's because there's a lot going on in the subconscious you aren't even aware of. So remember, as Carl said, until you make the unconscious, what's going on, and 95% driving the show, conscious. So this is where self-awareness comes into play. You have to become mindful and intentional of your thoughts and your emotions. You want to get your thoughts and your emotions working together. What Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches through his practices, brain and heart coherence, through meditation. You want your conscious mind and subconscious mind in alignment so you can use affirmations, but you also have to bring in the emotional state, and that is how you become a powerful manifester. So let's get into how do you do this? How do you create this brain and heart coherence so there's no more misalignment? I also want you to know that when you are using these affirmations, if you don't have your thoughts and emotions in alignment, you're literally sending out mixed signals. And this is the trap I fell into. So you might be affirming, I am abundant, I am confident, I am worthy, I am successful, but you're feeling unworthy, not enough, you have doubt, frustration, impatience. So the mixed signals are, you're sending out thoughts of what you want, but you're feeling, your heart is 5,000 times more powerful. Your electromagnetic field of your heart, 5,000 times more powerful than your brain. That's why you have to have the mental, emotional connection. So again, you can be affirming one thing, but if you're feeling another, you send mixed signals, and the quantum field, the universe, only is responding to that emotional state. So you might be thinking one thing, affirming, just like that guy said, I've been trying to do it for a year. I've been trying to be positive, but I could tell from his email that he's stuck in self-doubt and frustration and patience and feeling unworthy, which is the disconnect, keeping you stuck, getting more of the same. Okay, great. So now I've explained why, that missing link, the disconnect, the emotional body, but how do you create brain and heart coherence? How do you start making affirmations work for you so you become a master manifester? Great question. Thank you for asking. All right, so now let's get to the missing link and how do we use affirmations to our benefit. Number one, affirmations, I don't use them anymore because there is room for that internal resistance, doubt, fear, impatience to come in, rather than using affirmations. So actually, let's go back to our beautiful stick figure. Rather than using affirmations, which can create resistance and keep us stuck getting more of the same, it's about declaring and commanding your reality. When you command your reality, when you have the belief, but it's really about the knowing, the certainty that what you want is done, now you're creating alignment with your brain and your heart. So back to the conscious and subconscious, 5%, and the subconscious. So here we're gonna use this as the brain, because this is where you have your free will, your wishes, your desires, what it is you're affirming that you want. But remember, the disconnect is the emotional body. So down here is the heart, which are emotions. So how do you create the connection to brain and heart? The biggest one here, and again, this took me years to figure out, it was a huge trap. If your nervous system is dysregulated, if you have become addicted, and remember, this is oftentimes unconscious, but if you've become addicted, if your set point, your norm is lack, scarcity, struggle, chaos, doubt, that's your baseline. So if your baseline is dysfunction, so let's write this here. If your baseline is dysfunction and you're trying to break free of that, your nervous system doesn't feel safe. It has been stuck in flight or fight mentality. You've been stuck in survival mode. So the first step, before we even get into brain and heart coherence, you have to create a new baseline. You have to create stability and safety within your nervous system. I'm going to share with you 2 processes on how to do this. Number 1, you can do meditation. And what I would do is one hand on my heart, one on my belly. You can also do this through breath work. But the idea here is number 1, baseline, the first step, you want a regulated nervous system. So in order to manifest, you have to do this first. You want a regulated nervous system. So again, if you're doing meditation or breath work, hand on the heart and the belly, and you want to create calm and coherence, listen to the terms I'm using. We want the connection, we want the alignment, but you're creating calm and coherence. You're letting your nervous system know it is safe and it is secure. And the big thing here is we want to get out of stress. We want to get out of high beta brainwave state into theta, in which we are suggestible. And when you create calm and coherence within, now you have all of your energy in this present moment to start creating from. What happens is when we're stuck in survival mode, when we're stuck in dysfunction, we're living in a reactive mode. So you might want abundance, but you're feeling unsafe. You're used to lack, scarcity, problems. You have to move from reactor into creator because you can't serve 2 masters. You can't be reactive and a creator of your life. You're giving your attention to one or the other. So step number 1, we have to regulate our nervous system. And I'm offering ways to do this is through meditation or breath work. This is all. You can also do grounding. People talk about cold plunges, but really it's about creating calm and peace within so that you have all of your energy, and now it's time to create. So the second step in creating, mastering your reality and becoming a master manifester is knowing what you want. And this is where you could use affirmations because you are clarifying your desire. Step number 3 is brain and heart coherence. So this is where we have our thoughts and emotions in alignment. We are wanting abundance and we are feeling abundant and grateful and empowered. That's the brain and heart connection. Your thoughts and emotions have to be aligned. You can't be thinking one thing and fearing your desire. Step number 4, this is the big one. This is ultimately the missing link, which took me years to figure out. I wish I knew this years ago, so you get to learn it today. It comes down to embodiment. Because here's the thing about the universe that we live in. Wayne Dyer said this: you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And what I mean by embodiment here is we live in an energetic universe. Everything is vibration and frequency. Life is a self-fulfilling prophecy. What you put out, you get back. So when you are thinking and feeling in alignment, when you have created this brain and heart coherence, which is the alignment piece, and number 4, the most important is the embodiment. Now, remember when I shared with you, your heart electromagnetic field, 5,000 times more powerful than your brain. But now you have these in sync. You have a strong Wi-Fi signal. You've embodied that, and that's who you're showing up as. That is what you are broadcasting into the field. Watch out, because things are going to happen for you quickly and easily. So when we get into the quantum field, when we get into manifesting, that's all manifesting is. It is a reflection of your internal state. Remember, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. You attract who you are being. So when you consistently embody, and now you maintain and sustain this frequency, and that is your broadcast, because now you are thinking and feeling abundant. That's when opportunities and synchronicities and people and resources you need come your way, because the quantum field is reflecting your state of being. This is where kind of like the idea of law of attraction comes into place, but you're not attracting anything. Life is simply reflecting your internal state of being. Here's what I want to share with you. If this is something new to you and you want to fast track from where you are to where you want to be, so you're not like that guy who's been trying affirmations for a year, or you're not like me who it took me years to figure this out. I do provide one-on-one coaching. To learn more and apply, visit my website, heatherhakes.com. I will also include a link below. But what I want to offer you this, I am telling you the steps. But remember, you have been conditioned and programmed for probably years, if not decades, into thinking and feeling one way. This is going to take repetition and consistency. And what it really comes down to is that identity shift, who you are being, how you are showing up. But I am telling you, when you regulate your nervous system, you have this new baseline. You know what you want, but remember, it's certainty. It is declaring, it is commanding reality. And how do you command reality? You command reality by creating the alignment between your thoughts and emotions, but most importantly, the embodiment, how you are showing up and maintaining and sustaining this frequency. That is what you are putting out, and that is what you will draw back to you. So ultimately, this is the missing link to affirmations. It's really about the step 3 and step 4. Without these 2 steps, you can affirm all you want, but you're only going to create more internal resistance. I hope this helped. If you have questions, please drop them down below, and I'm happy to answer them or do further videos on this topic. But here's what I want to remind you and kind of bring this full circle. You are the creator of your life. You are living every single moment, either by design or by default. And it all comes down to how you are showing up, who you are being, what you are broadcasting, because whatever you put out, you get back. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you're the first to know when new videos drop. And give me a thumbs up. I'll catch you on the next one.